Direct response has actually been 8% increase. What is the EFF stance on that, and what have you got to say?
No, our stance is very clear. When we started the Fees Must Fall movement, we did not fight for fees not to increase only, but we fought for the implementation of free quality equal education. So our fight is not only just to keep fees from increasing, but it's to usher in free quality education. However, we're very angered and flabbergasted by the decision of a majority of our universities to increase fees by 8%. In DUT, they've increased fees of tuition by 8% and residence fees by 8%.
You will never compromise the revolution. You will never relent. You will never equivocate. You must remember education Bonginkosi Khanyile inside those colonial buildings. One of the
About touch for us on the Gazuzu issue, with him being currently in this kind of position.
I'm pleading to management to withdraw the charges of Gazuzu. Gazuzu is suspended for addressing students. That's what they say. You know, you can't suspend a person for addressing people. It's freedom of speech, which is a constitutional right found in Chapter 2 of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association. Now, how do you charge a person for addressing students?
And fortunately enough, he was released by the Constitutional Court, which is the highest court in the land, you know, and that is history for you, because there's no political prisoner in this country whose matter has ever been heard in the courts, including Mandela, Robert Sobukwe, all the political prisoners that you know about in our history. They've never went to the level of the court. So Bonkosi's matter was heard by 11 judges. By that time, the Chief Justice was still Mogoeng, and they were able to release him with a bail of 250 rand because they could not understand why this young man is kept in prison, because it was a national protest.
Exactly.
Why him alone? Because the state was saying he's a danger to society. How can you say a young person is a danger to a state that has guns? A state
Mashiane Politically Incorrect, I spoke to this gentleman, Gazuzu. So I thought, let me do this so you could understand the politics of South Africa, the politics of young people who are eaten by the system and they end up not living up to their political potential. I've done a podcast with him, so we spoke about a lot of things, and amongst them include how he started his politics, how he went into higher education, got banned and got removed from, and then he started other things. I mean, he worked with Evan Jim through NUMSA and to where he is now. So the reason I want you to watch him, and I'm just gonna make few clips here just so you see him. What he's been involved in, and I want you to understand. I've done this. I've asked MK guys, I've asked EFF guys, and I also asked ANC young students. Are our politicians, senior politicians, abusive to our young guns? So this is what I mean. They are militant, but unfortunately what they end up doing is they are fighting systems that their party leaders, people that they call leadership, who control. What do I mean? Plight Nzimande is the one that targeted, according to the podcast that I did with him, Plight Nzimande is the one that targeted these young students. Plight Nzimande is a socialist, is a of course, a long-time Secretary General or General Secretary of the SACP, the only communist party in South Africa, aligned to the ANC. These kids, these young people who you send to universities, they get there and for their political activism, they fight and delay their youth and waste their youth fighting their political masters. Political masters, I'm talking about Khanyile. Khanyile's delay could be in part because he was in prison for fighting for Fees Must Fall. So why should fees fall if these young people are ANC people? I'm talking about even in the ANC. M's career as a politician has been suspended because they got incarcerated. There's a disjuncture, but I don't want to be long. Just listen to the tape, just listen to the cuts of these young people who they have wasted their years trying to please their political principles. For the full interview, just click on the link that I said with Nduli. That's Gazuzu. Thank you.
Exactly.
So, right. So, as you just recently stated that should we be removed out of the ballot paper, there won't be any elections. Are you actually saying that might be another insight of
course.
of another uprising or
Of
another
course,
unrest?
imagine the July unrest only happened in 2 provinces, in
Do you think-
KZN and in the pockets of Gauteng. Now, imagine isiphinde kawu-9 leyo nto. They failed to stop just people in KZN and in Gauteng. There's no way, there is no army of men that can stop an idea whose time has come. So the MK is a people's movement. We have already won the elections as MK. Get 29 just confirm we have numbers on our side as the MK. That is why they are panicking and trying to do all shenanigans to try and stop the MK from the ballot. Let them do that, as the youth league will be leading in the forefront in mobilizing our people on the streets, disrupting the elections. Why is this so xosha kanje emavidisi wavala? Ngeke ama-elections ahlali MK ingekho. Bafuna ukuyovota bodwa singekho into enjani leyo nto.
All right, so can I just stop you there, and ask this question, Uguti? Oh, sorry about that. Actually,
Yes.
I have to go back. Sorry about that. You can continue.
While she's on her, I just wanted to know also something, Guti. What really rather differentiates between, what is the difference between the MK Youth League and the ANC Youth League, right? We have, on the ANC Youth League, rather, we have the NYDA, right? Then what do we have as the MK on the youth matters, or rather youth challenges or problems that we're currently facing in this country?
Well, the NYDA, it's a government institution. It has nothing to do with the youth league of the ANC. It's a youth. It's like the youth service or youth commission that has been formed to deal with youth matters, to assist young people who want to form businesses, to submit proposals to parliament on youth policies in the country, on how to better the lives of young people, of which that NYDA today is being used as a tool for ANC people. Now, there's a huge difference between the MK Youth League and the ANC Youth League. The MK Youth League is a revolutionary, radical and militant organization. It's an organization that is principled, that have genuine cadres which are fighting for a real emancipation of our people. The ANC Youth League are just young people who are captured by old people in the ANC. Abanye babo abamatanyulu. President ungikhuzela ukuthi ngakhulumi ngendaba amatanyulu kodwa ikhona abafowethu. Iyenzeka ngangazi khona. Ngayibona nami sengifike eGoli ukuthi ayibona ngempela lento iyenzeka. Yamatanyulu. So these people, they are captured by the old people. They are given tenders. They've become a dog with no teeth. They are no longer the youth league of Anton Lembede. In fact, as the MK Youth League were inspired by that youth league of the 1944, of Anton Lembede, of Robert Sebu, of Epimda, of Olisi Majombos. They have long abandoned the struggles, credentials, and the ideology of the...
But today, in the day of the march to release him, we are visited by a terrorist from Gandla. I just forget his name. but he's been accused of being a state president. We all know he's just a very useless tagarist and a rapist who's mushrooming around our institutions, preaching the word of corruption.
The first issue is NSFAS. We always ask, why did you allow NSFAS to go to Cape Town? Why? In 2013, NSFAS offices were here at financial aid offices. Students could go there physically with documents and prove that they don't have money to start, and they would get NSFAS. TUT is the only institution in KZN which use online system. If you go to MUT, most students have NSFAS. You go to your KZN, most students have NSFAS. And we're saying as EFF, when we take power, we will not negotiate, because we can't negotiate for our rights. We will take it by force. So, not
Same thing. It's because they know that Gazuzu is committed into the liberation of students and is EFF, you know. So we're saying they must withdraw those charges. We're pleading with them. We do not want to fight with them, you know. But if they are inviting us to war, we've seen prison.
Commander Grenade is a leader, man.
Yeah.
She's a leader. She's one of a type, you know. And I think what she falls victim to by most people is the fact that she's born by the president.
Yes.
You know, now, so people tend to, when they want to view her, they view her according to her father, you know, to say, no, this one is privileged. I don't know what they were doing with the elections commission, the people who were in charge of elections. We found our votes that were discarded somewhere outside campus, you know. There are lots of shenanigans surrounding those elections, but the way that we campaigned without the resources